From the biggest moments
Can you believe it?
to gold medal championships,
Sidney Crosby, the golden goal!
it's your update on Canada's game. You're listening to the True North Ice podcast with Jacob Ewing and Caleb Schneider.
Welcome back, True North Ice podcast, and oh boy, Jake. Just when we thought it couldn't get worse, Canada cannot score enough goals as we only beat Germany 11-0 in Sledge Hockey.
I mean, at least one part of Hockey Canada is successful.
Yeah, we're buzzing. We are
It's
buzzing
great.
on the Sledge Hockey department.
I mean, it's true. We were also buzzing at the start of the World Championship.
Exactly.
When we,
and
we did pretty
the
good,
end
but-
of the prelims, man. At the end of the prelims, pretty big statement win against your bronze medalist Sweden. But who cares? Who cares? You know what? It's been a good start to the prelims for Canada. Of course, we completely dominated Germany, and as of time we're recording this, we are absolutely killing Korea. 9-0 in the second period. Yes, we are recording this on Sunday. And yeah, what's your thoughts on the start of the Sledge Hockey Para Worlds? Is it called Para World Championships? Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Well, obviously good. Obviously, we smoked Germany. I mean, it's kind of expected. Sledge Hockey has a big, there's a big gap in really good teams and the teams that are still up and coming. And well, Canada and the U.S. obviously have a bump over everybody else. But you know, these games are crucial. You know, you come together as a
It's
team,
a good team building.
right? And that's what you need.
Going back to youth, it's team building.
Exactly. So good start. Good start, definitely. We're gonna keep on going. Obviously, like the U.S. are also rolling. They won their opener 12-0, just like we won 11-0.
And then 13-0
And
over
then
Slovakia.
13. Yeah. So
There you go.
as I said, there's a gap.
Yeah.
We'll see how big that gap really is. I'm interesting to see. The Czechia and the U.S. play very soon, so they play Tuesday, and that's a big game. I think that's gonna be an important game to kind of see where the U.S. are at. Like, yes, I know
They're both 2-2
probably
or 2-0.
yeah, exactly. The Czech is a good team. I'd probably put them a third behind Canada, USA. So we'll see where the U.S. are at.
Yeah.
For ourselves though, feeling pretty good. Our biggest challenge is when do we play the States? Do we even know we play the States or Czech yet? So in the other group.
Basically, after this Korea game, we play on Tuesday for our final prelim game against China. And then, by the looks of it, we don't play until Friday. So we have two days off. And then we'll be playing in the semifinal. Unless we lose. If we somehow come... No, there's no way. So, yeah, we'll be playing Friday for a semifinal game. And then Saturday is the finals and the bronze. So, definitely don't take China lightly. You know, they are currently 1-0 as well. They play tonight at 8:30 against Germany. Now, it's probably going to be... Yeah, whoever wins that game, China-Canada, will probably get first the 1 seed. So, they'll play...
Yeah.
They'll play the bottom team from Pool B. I don't know how that works. Only this. Okay, so only 4 teams make the playoffs, so they'll play the second place team in B, which will be Czechia probably. Czechia or U.S. So that'll be interesting.
I mean, yeah, it'd be great. We're gonna. I mean, I guess it's not a quarterfinals; it's more of a semis, but still
It
the
is,
first round.
Yeah, semi. It's just semis and then your medal games.
So the first round of international tournament is always the hardest for Canada. So we'll see how that goes.
Semifinals versus Czechia, U.S. Man, got to keep your eye out. You know, given the history.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's true. Let's move into the real meat of the episode, though. As we all know, World Championships actually just wrapped up today, and unfortunately, Team USA does take home the gold medal. Tage Thompson, overtime winner. That is gold for the U.S. at the World Juniors. At the women's worlds, the men's worlds. I think it's silver at the women's U8. No, it was silver at the men's U18s. Yes.
Sorry, wait, what do you? What's the stat again? Sorry, I didn't.
The U.S. had a great year. The Raiders had a great year.
Gotcha.
Gold at the World Juniors, gold at the women's
World
U20s.
Championships.
World Championships, yeah. I got through that.
Second place at the Four Nations.
Yeah, but I'm more talking about double IHF.
I know.
Also had a pretty good a gold and a silver between the men's and the women's at the U18s. They had a great year, and Canada did not. We do not medal at the men's World Championships. We do not medal at the World Juniors. We do get a gold at the U18s, which is nice.
Is this their sport?
U18s was really our only good tournament. And it's not that fact that we didn't have good teams. It was the fact that we keep seeing a trend kind of pop up over and over again, apart from the Four Nations and apart from the U18s this year, where the team can't come up in the clutch. And, well,
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what we'll do. We don't really need to talk about the Swedish game. We can just really talk about the men's. And...
I mean, I think the Swedish game was Canada-Sweden was.
It was a big game.
It brought a lot of optimism, especially after we lost to Finland.
Yeah.
We lose to Finland in a tight game, and then Canada comes out looking very, very sharp. Got a lead. This is the thing. They got a lead early, a 2-goal lead, and then kind of just held on. Sweden brought the fight, but it didn't matter. Canada just treaded water. They got a lead, and they survived. And that's exactly what this team needs to do. When you have this much star power, the longer a game goes where it's tight and it's hard checking, it favors the other team. And so Canada being able to get a lead and hold on was huge.
Yeah.
And a lot of penalties in that game, too. I just want to put it out there. They were unreal at the amount of penalties. The refs were calling every single little thing that either teams.
It was not an NHL playoff game.
No, the penalty minutes finished 14 for Canada, 10 for Sweden.
Yeah.
So I just want to put that out there. It was insane, the officiating, which is fine.
Yeah.
It's the way they want to call the game, but
And IHF is more strict, I believe, on their rules, especially for the men's side. They don't let as much stuff go compared to NHL. And I know they have different rules or regulations for for World Juniors and U18s as well, but the men's, they still hammer down on all these minor-ish penalties, right? But there was a lot of penalties. And how many power play goals were there? I feel like there was.
Oh gosh.
Sweden scored 1, and they scored a shorthanded goal. So all these penalty minutes for Canada, all these power plays for Canada didn't even do anything. So.
No,
all our goals were 5-on-5. I think so. Yeah, they were. And then our one power play, we gave up a shorthanded goal to Lindholm.
Yeah.
And then Marcus Johansson scored on the power play as well for Sweden. So
yep, I'm with you.
I mean, good start in the first period. I mean, ending the first period being up 2 goals is pretty big. You got your feet in the game, and I mean, we're just kind of rolling. And then we give up that power play goal to Marcus Johansson kind of early in that second. Now we're thinking, do we have a game? But Canada really, we kind of showed them like we have this game, right? I feel like the star talent, I feel like we're just deeper. The star talent wasn't really out to start the game. I mean, I didn't really notice it as much like from Crosby or McKinnon, but just the depth scoring, like, I mean, Macklin Celebrini's not really a depth piece, but scoring from that second, like you got Crosby and McKinnon, and then you've got like Celebrini and all those other guys, O'Reilly. So that second tier of scoring really showed up today for us, for us in the Sweden game. Yeah.
And so with Bo Horvat out, Ryan O'Reilly stepped up to the top line.
Yeah.
And I thought he played great. That top line it was him, Konechny, and McKinnon. McKinnon finished with 3 points. Konechny finished with 3 points, and O'Reilly with 1. But he played his role.
Yeah.
And he filled that role good. I mean, there's so much star power on this team that when you lose a player like Bo Horvat, you could be easily replaced. It happened. They got the job done. It's what you expect when this type of caliber of team plays a good team like Sweden, to play some shutdown hockey in a game that had a lot on the line. And it's kind of, I don't want to say similar to the Denmark game where Denmark had the home ice advantage, just like Sweden did in a game that meant something, elimination, or in the Sweden case, for first place in the group. And there's a lot on the line. And Canada was able to weather the storm in the Sweden game, took the crowd out of it, and then treaded water.
Yeah.
And we'll get to the Denmark game, but they just were unable to do that in that one. But it was a great effort, and it gave me a lot of optimism going into the quarterfinals.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, just that game, it's like such a big game, and you think there's so much on the line. Now you're playing a 4 seed, and now you're not even freaking packing your bags. Like, did you see that? So they had to go.
I don't know.
So they were in Sweden all week or whatever, the past 2 weeks, and then they had to go to Denmark for the one game and then go back if they won.
Yep.
And they didn't pack their bags, and they
Really?
left them there, assuming
Oh,
they'd go
no. That's terrible.
back. Yeah,
That's a losing mentality right
That is-
there.
well, especially
no,
led
that's
led by a team by Sidney Crosby.
Oh, that's not a good mentality right there.
Yeah,
One game at a time. Do you think someone like Sid would know that? But
yeah.
he'll remember that now. He'll definitely remember that now for next
Yeah,
time.
and he's only got 4 years left in his career. So
Yeah,
I mean,
who knows? Wow, I did not know that. That's shocking.
Yeah.
Okay. It is what it is. Screw. Actually, I'm glad they lost that game
Yeah.
because of their bad
that's
screw. I don't
that's
care.
so. Like, imagine if the U.S. did that, lost to the 4 seed or whatever. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
they didn't come first, but in their pool. But imagine they did that, lost. You'd never hear the end of it.
No.
Right?
And like if we end up playing Denmark in Sweden because the tournament's just in Sweden and Denmark, we win that game. Absolutely. We had the number 1 seed going. We deserved the 1 seed, and we have to play on a road game in a game that was it supposed to be played in Sweden? Group A.
Group A.
Group A. 1v4. I'm pretty sure we played in Denmark because
We did, yeah.
Denmark
Because
was
Denmark
the host
was the
country.
host. Yeah, that's what it was.
And that's ridiculous. I get why. Okay, honestly, you have to do it,
Yeah.
but it's just like we deserve the 1 seed. They barely went by, barely beating Germany. I don't know. It is what it is.
I think that's what they it's always been like that. So they always had, for every tournament, like even juniors, they'd have the quarterfinals is split up into 2 different places, and then semis and the finals are all in one. So I mean, I understand why they had to travel, but I don't know. It shouldn't affect the team at all.
No.
Like these guys are all NHLers. They do this all the time. They travel, play one game, and leave. Right?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a great point.
Yeah, it's these guys. I wonder. Okay, here's a question. So you were saying it's been a bad year for Hockey Canada. Does the men's and the women's world championships and the world juniors, is that all do you think those are all connected through Hockey Canada, or are those just all different separate issues with each team?
I mean, it's hard not to kind of connect them all, even though it is because it's kind of it's like the mentality now. I want to say mind you, I'm sure all the players don't think about this, but when I think of Hockey Canada this year, I don't want to say disappointed, but not living up to expectations is something that comes to my mind. And you can see it on every team. There's always that World Junior team. People were saying how you didn't take some of the best players available. You left Zane Prekel home. You left Becca Seneca home.
Yeah, okay, that is. I wasn't really thinking about that. That is a good point. They left some players off the list, right?
Right. And you can't really say that for the women's and the men's world because they had the best players available who wanted to go, and the women's team is just all the best women in the world. But it's just I think it's just a mentality thing now for Hockey Canada that it's just not in a good place right now, and over the next few years we need to shift.
Okay, so now so we have the Olympics coming up. If the women's and the men both win, do these problems just get overshadowed and they're kind of gone?
So it's gone, just like that. That's all it takes. It's a momentum shifter. You need to shift the momentum right now, and a big win on the biggest stage is what they need. And I think absolutely they can get it done. There's no doubt in my mind.
So here's another point too. So the Olympics, and we know the Four Nations that just happened. I think after this, of the men's team losing to Denmark, the chances are a lot higher in this in this Olympics that Canada folds and loses a semifinal game or quarterfinal game, right? You have to agree?
You think so? You think so? I mean,
I would think so.
in the Olympics,
Like,
that's like a different stage.
I know that we have, like, this is a weaker team, but we just lost to a team with one NHLer, and this was his first game.
Yeah.
Right? I know he was impactful. He tied the game up. Nick Ehlers.
He's also a great player.
Yeah. But, like, Nick Ehlers is not anything compared to two superstars we have, and we have Jordan Binnington, at least a somewhat competent goalie.
It's true. That's true.
Compared
Although
I don't even know who was in net for Denmark.
Although the only thing I'll say to that is there's nothing like a good player in the NHL. Nick Ehlers is a borderline all-star in the NHL. Great player, really good player.
Yeah,
I really like him.
Yep.
And there's nothing like someone like that going to play for his home country where nobody else is really comparable to maybe the skill level or where he's at in his career in front of a home crowd. We saw it with like Czechia last year, where they kind of just won the whole thing. Then they were at home, and if they were, let's say, if we were in Mongolia, they're not winning that tournament one bit.
Yeah.
I just think if Nick Ehlers on Denmark was given probably as many minutes as he wanted, he could do whatever he wants.
Yeah. He's the best player.
Yeah, absolutely. He was given full reins, and there's a big thing when he has that power and he has the skill to do it. Kind of just take over. It's okay. Let's not dive too deep into it.
Anyways, yeah. I think Alexander True, he used to be a Sharks prospect, and Joachim Bleckfeld used to be a Sharks prospect. Other than that, yeah. I mean, good for Denmark, but like I feel like there has to be some sort of concern in hockey. There's probably been concerns for a few years, but there has to be some sort of concern with Hockey Canada and how this team lost in the quarterfinals to Denmark, especially having a pretty strong prelim round. How does it fall apart like this? What made them play this crappy? Why did they play this crappy?
You gotta
Denmark isn't a team that Denmark probably, they played their game, but how did Canada's game not score 4 on this Denmark team?
I'm gonna say it again. It's the home crowd. They had the home crowd. Their goalie we've seen it before. It's like Feldberg's Canada Latvia in the World Juniors. If a goalie gets hot, he's gonna get hot, and he stopped 39. He made 39 shots out of potential 40. Had himself a crazy game. The team in front of him was putting everything on the line, and that's the difference. Canada has won championships before. This win from Denmark is the biggest win in their history of ice hockey ever, and that's the difference. They grew up dreaming of someday beating a monster like Canada or Sweden or the U.S. and in front of their home crowd, you just lay everything on the line. That's all that matters, right? And they win this game, and look what happens next. They get smoked 7-0 by Switzerland in the semifinals. Like, this was their game. This was their championship. They put everything on the line. They had phenomenal goaltending. They tried their best to keep everybody outside. They gave minutes to the top dogs, and they got it done. Like, seriously, it's heart over hype. Heart. They've had the heart.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted, heart.
That's fair. And now, okay. It's in Italy? When we have when the pool play is done or whatever, and we're into the I think it's quarters, semis, and finals. I think there's 3 rounds. Does Canada would have a home crowd over some teams, right?
I believe so. Can't
So I guess that's
pretty well
not,
traveled. Pretty well traveled.
yeah, especially for Olympics, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's not really. I guess that's, yeah. I mean, it's fair to say home crowd. Like, still, does a home crowd affect this team that much for them?
For these little, I don't want to say little,
tournament.
but these
game.
nations, I think it does. Like
Okay.
for the U.S., for teams like the U.S., Sweden, and maybe even Finland, like I would say not really, but like when was the last time Denmark held the World Hockey Championship? How long have they been waiting to see their hero Nikolai Ehlers, their best player, play for their
That's
home
fair.
country?
Yeah.
Like they've been waiting for this for probably a long time, and they had the opportunity to play Canada. Like a bunch of people from Denmark probably paid the extra money just to go see Sidney Crosby play.
That's
And,
that's a good point.
as soon as this game was 0-0 after 2 periods, and Denmark and the crowd knew they had a chance, it was over. The longer this game was kept close, and I
Yeah.
said the same thing about the Finland game. The longer this game was kept close, it's going to benefit Denmark, and that's exactly what it did.
Yep.
Yes, we scored first. That was a big goal, near the start of the 3rd period. But late with 2.5 minutes left, and the European crowd is still into it because that's what Europeans do. They're always hype, always.
When Nick Ehlers tied it, you knew the game was over, right?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say over.
We're on the same
I was
page.
I was at least hoping we go to overtime, but
I think
like all the momentum was switched over. As soon as that goal goes in, the momentum is switched over, and Denmark was back on the attack, and Canada just felt like they were on their back foot and just trying to tread water, not trying to drown. And unfortunately, they drowned. So
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's fair. Like, okay, the building was packed. The arena's attendance was a full house. Over 10,000 people were there, and that is a good point. People wanted to see Sidney Crosby, Nathan McKinnon. Yeah,
and it was
That's
just
fair.
a hope. I mean, Canada outshot Denmark.
Yeah.
Canada outshot Denmark. It was 18-4 after the first period, and like even going to the second, you're still like, if you're a Denmark fan or from Denmark, you probably still have doubt in your mind that's still possible, especially when it's that you outshoot a team that much. It was a very that's a dominant first period for sure. But then after 2, it's still tied up at 0. Oh, we have ourselves a chance, and Denmark's starting to reel their way back at the shot column. The final shots ended 40-33 for Canada. And the fact that after 1 it was 18-4, and the difference is only 7 after 60 minutes, it's just like it was inevitable. Like I'm not surprised looking back on it now that we lost this game. You got to put the puck in the net, and I get their goalie's having a great day, but I don't even know what league he plays. He probably doesn't even make 100K.
One was it Denmark or was it Latvia? One goalie signed with the Habs because of the World Championships.
Really?
Now, and that also the one Denmark or Latvia, that one goalie was supposed to play in the World's Juniors, but then got hurt. I don't know if it could be a different team as well, but because it's been 2 weeks, so I've seen different random news stories. But anyways, yeah, that goalie definitely doesn't not make a lot of money, and
which is fine. But
it's totally fine. It's just
he is drafted. He was drafted in 2019 by the Montreal Canadiens. So.
Okay, did he sign? I feel like he just signed then. I would assume that's the same guy. It was Dichow, right?
Yeah.
Dichow, or I don't even know.
It was Dichow, yeah, Dichow.
Yeah.
That's his name.
News.
I don't know if he's a
Okay,
I don't think
no,
he's a
he didn't
prospect
sign.
anymore.
No, he. I don't know. If he was only drafted in 2019, there's still a shot. Still has a shot for the NHL, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
If he's that young. Like, because goalies don't start until they're 23 at least, most likely. So, in the NHL. Like he's what now?
24. He's 24.
Yeah.
Right
So
now.
there's been a couple of guys that would make the AHL and then get a couple spot starts when they're 30 years old, right? So there's a chance.
Yeah.
But I've been I don't know how to word this. Basically, since we've been doing the podcast, my brain has been more wired to like Canadian fandom, but I do want to kind of revert back to my old self, like a few months ago. This is pretty awesome to see.
For Denmark, yeah. For Denmark, it's great.
Yeah,
Like,
I think it's
as I've already
really
said
awesome. This is entertainment at its peak. That was peak entertainment. Like,
I mean,
listen,
if you want to
listen,
think of it like that,
listen.
yes.
A quarterfinal game at the World Championship did not get as much coverage. Like no other quarterfinal game at the World Championship for a decade has gotten this much coverage as this game.
Yeah.
Right? This tournament, like it's gonna grow because of this, right? You think?
I mean, it will grow.
Also,
I can see
to be
it, but-
fair, like last year, Canada didn't even win a medal either in this tournament. They lost in the semis, but they lost to a team that had, like, was it Switzerland? I think was it Switzerland? Yeah, that team had quite a few NHLers, but this team Canada has Sidney Crosby, Nathan McKinnon. The list goes on and on.
Yeah,
And they lose to Denmark.
Yeah, it's
Like
just
that's a big story.
It's a different style of hockey they play over there. Like, yeah, these are NHL players. Yes, they're the best players in the world, but I guess European hockey is different, man. It's a lot more.
It is. Yeah, it's
like
well structured.
Bigger ice,
very structured.
Bigger ice, structured. I think maybe a bit more defensive mindset too.
Yeah. Very.
And
their defensive structure, even like in the World Juniors, you can tell it's really top notch.
Yeah, and that's a big thing. That like European countries need to use that to their advantage because I don't want to sound rude, but they have no other advantage. Like they
Correct.
have to.
That's
This
correct.
is how you're gonna win games. You have to surprise Canada. You have to take them out of their element. Their element is playing high-level, skilled, fast hockey, and if you can somehow change the narrative of that, you're gonna be successful. And that's what Denmark did. We saw it. They struggled at first, keeping pucks away from their net, but once they started rolling and Canada started doubting themselves and maybe even getting a bit antsy and just starting to shoot anything, even if it wasn't that high-quality scoring chance, game's over. As long as the goalie's playing good, and DeChao played great. There it was. And it's not even like I don't know. I'm just disappointed.
This was peak entertainment for hockey.
Mm-hmm.
A 2:00 game. We got Stanley Cup. We got a game, NHL game later tonight. We put this on a lot of people probably had this on in the background somewhere. They lose to Denmark. That's really, like, Twitter was buzzing. People that didn't talk about the World Championships one bit start tweeting about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's top-notch entertainment. And, like, I know we're doing the podcast now, and I will admit, World Juniors last year, 2025, in Ottawa, Canada, Latvia, it was by far the most entertaining game of the year, or of the tournament. I was cheering for Latvia at the end of that, right?
That's crazy.
And my brain in this, obviously I'm cheering for Canada, but my brain is starting to revert back, like, man, oh man, that's pretty awesome. It's a pretty awesome story. But
I don't know.
the listeners don't know myself as well as you would, but yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's go. Let's just do a quick recap of some of the better. I have some stats up. I have some stats up of some of the better players and some players who maybe were a bit disappointing. Any guess on? Actually, there was 2 players tied to lead the team in points. Any guesses? Unless you have it up.
I don't have it up.
Okay.
I didn't watch as much as you would have.
I watched a good amount of it.
I did some of the graphics, so I kind of have an idea. But there's 2 players, had the most points. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, there's 2 players who are tied for it's 13 points.
McKinnon.
Nathan McKinnon is one of them. He is one of them.
So
There's one. There's one tied with him,
would
who
it
had.
be Tyson Forrester, Travis
This is-
Konechny.
It is Travis Konechny.
Okay.
Tyson
Well,
Forrester.
Forrester
only-
was he was injured for a couple games too, but he had a really good. He did have a good start. I know that.
Yeah,
He was a point a
he had,
game,
he had
but,
top line minutes. He had Tyson Forrester actually only had 3 points in 7 games.
Okay.
But he was
playing
well,
top minutes, yeah.
I was surprised by the minutes he
Yeah.
got, and he
Oh, yeah.
played them really successfully. Anyways, Travis Konechny played along with Nate Mack a lot. He also played a lot on the penalty kill. He's a huge part of that. He's such a good penalty killer, and that's why he's going to be huge for the roster next year in Milan. Anyways, them two, 13 points apiece. Konechny also leading the team in assists. Right behind them, number 3 with 1 point less at 12 is Sid the Kid, and other than that, everybody else is single digits. Bo Horvat played 2 less games than everybody else. Was 5th in points with 8. I really like Horvat's tournament. And
How many games did they play?
They played 8
8
altogether. They played
okay.
8.
So the stars were starring.
Yeah. And there is one player who I always wanted to point out who played all 8 games. And coming into this tournament, I was excited to see how he was going to perform. But he was the only player to play every game to not have a point. Any guesses who that could be?
Well, I know Riker Evans just got had a point against Sweden.
It's not Riker Evans.
I know.
Yes. This is a forward. It's a forward. I'll even say that.
And he played every
single
game, so
Played
not
every
Martone.
game.
Okay.
No,
I'm saying not him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. I'm trying to think. Can I have the roster up? Is that fair?
Sure. Try to do it kind of quickly.
I'm not gonna look.
for the viewers.
Yeah.
For the viewers. It's not like
Adam
them wait around.
Fantilli.
It is Adam Fantilli.
He
Adam Fantilli
bad.
did not have a
was
single
bad.
point throughout any. Even Braden Shen had a point, but Adam Fantilli, who I was excited to watch because he had a good year in Columbus this year, and he's a prospect that was only drafted 2 years ago, but he's coming up pretty fast. Dude was a 3rd overall pick. Like he's a really promising player, and he comes to the World Championship. Like obviously, was there even a thought that maybe he could be on the roster next year in Milan?
No, there was no.
No. Okay.
So okay,
I just want to put that out there.
There was another storyline. Going into the Sweden Canada game, Fantilli and Leo Carlson were matched up against each other, like their lines were paired up the whole time.
Yep.
And Leo Carlson, the 2nd overall in that draft, was pretty good in that tournament. Obviously, that's just a random storyline.
He's a good player.
Yeah, he is kind of a beast.
He is beast is a good word.
Did he make the 4 Nations?
He was on the 4
okay.
Nations.
So he most likely will be on that Olympic team.
Yeah, and maybe that's because maybe Sweden's not as deep as Canada is, but he's a really good player. But so is Adam Fantilli. He's only 20 years old. The kid's only 20 years old.
That's right.
And he played at the World Championship last year, had 3 points in 10 games. So he could, and he put up only 54 this year in Columbus. Still had a good year. Was +4, but I thought he would just do something like he wasn't also playing top 6. He's more of playing a third line type of role. But just honestly invisible out there. For most of the tournament, and it was kind of disappointing to see. He was one of those young players with him and Celebrini that I was excited to see what's up. Ken Johnson is also very young. I thought he had a great tournament. He was very noticeable out there, just flying at some shifts.
Yeah. We didn't.
And also a fellow teammate of Adam Fantilli.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We also didn't talk about how Porter Martone. How do I keep saying that? Porter Martone. He got into a couple games because Horvat was out. I don't think we mentioned that in the last podcast.
We did.
No, we didn't.
He didn't.
He wasn't going to stand out, but he didn't.
No.
He wasn't a sore thumb, so good for him. That's all he's supposed to do.
Played 2 games. I don't think he played many minutes.
No,
but
he didn't look out of place though. So good for him.
No,
got some games on. You got more games under the belt. There you go.
No, it's gonna be huge, especially for his draft stock. I'm interested to see where he's going to go, but
Yeah.
that's another conversation for another day about the NHL draft. So
Yeah. Well, he's going to be drafted higher than. Do you think it's going to be higher than James Higgins? I'm getting off topic, but
no, it's okay.
do you think that's crazy? Do you think that's
I
crazy
think
though? Do you see he's dropping?
I have seen Higgins is dropping. I've also seen Martone dropping.
Yeah.
But I also see Martone. I hear like it was top 4 at the beginning. But James Higgins and Martone were at top 4 at the beginning of the year, and now I think Martone can go as high as 3, or maybe even 2. I really like. People are saying they really want him to see him go to Chicago at 3. And why? Because he's a big weight. He's a winger and he's big.
Yeah.
Pair him along with Bedard. But I also see people saying he can go as low as like 9. And same as Higgins. I can see people are saying bring him to Long Island at 1. But that's a good conversation, and it's honestly going to come down to the needs of the teams in the lottery. And that's the thing is,
if the Islanders want James Higgins, they will have to trade down.
You think so?
Yeah, they can't.
You don't think they just draft him?
They can't take him first.
Why? He's a good player. He's a really good prospect.
You can get so much more value for that first round.
But
first
who
overall pick.
says Higgins just doesn't get picked before they trade down?
Well, I'm saying like trade a 4th then. You can still get a lot of value. Like Matthew Schaefer is the clear-cut number 1 here. Right?
Okay.
Do you agree?
I agree.
Like the Sharks would definitely probably trade. They'd have to, but the thing is they have to get something. They'd have to give up a few picks, but
yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, good for him. Got a couple games. But yeah, there's some good obviously we knew Nathan McKinnon, Sidney Crosby are gonna stand out. Who else really other than that, like goal scoring wise, Nathan McKinnon was by far the best goal scorer on the team.
Yeah, and he was just allowed to do whatever he wants with the puck. You could see him skate already. He controlled the game out there when he needed him to, and that was a big part of the game. It just, I don't know, just sucks. Like at the end of the day, he still couldn't get it done. But
no, yeah, he came second for most goals behind Flames legend Elias Lindholm. That's crazy. 8 goals in 10 games, eh? Huh.
Yeah.
And then Eeli Tolvanen, man, what is he still in the Kraken? He had seven goals in 8 games. That's pretty good. Good for him. And then Sven Andrighetto. Wow, it's been a long time since you've heard them.
Yeah,
but
that is definitely a name.
There you go. 7 goals in 9 games is awesome.
Yeah,
for him. We're getting off. I'm sorry, I'm getting off topic. That's my fault. But yeah, the start, Crosby, McKinnon doing well. Celebrini looked really good beside Crosby.
Yeah, and
the decor, they did their job. Defense got their points whenever they needed to, but they did what you need to do if you want to make this Olympic team, which is don't make any defensive mistakes and you have a chance, right? So,
yeah. True. I was just looking at they just announced the All-Star media team, the media team All-Star team, and no Canadians. It's the Switzerland goaltender, Janani, Zach Rowensky, Dean Kukin, who is a player for Switzerland, Pasternak, Elias Lindholm, and Nick Olsson for Denmark is the media team. So no Canadians on the list, no Nate Mack, which I guess is fine, even though he had a great tournament, but it's okay.
Yeah, Nick Olsson. I mean, we didn't really talk about it. Where he scored the winner.
He scored the winner. He did.
He had a good tournament.
He had a great tournament. Yeah.
I think he only scored 2 goals, but I think he was their top D man. So, yeah, did his job. Good job, man. The defense, I had no issues with it. Uyghur's gonna get a look. Montour will get a look. Who else?
Sandheim. He obviously is gonna get a look.
Well, he's on. Yeah, Dobson get a look.
Oh, Dobson will get a look too.
Jared Spurgeon. He's on the top line. But
Mike Matheson, will he get a look, Caleb?
Not before these guys. They don't need him. Well, guys, after the World Championships, man, oh man, what a collapse. We will move on to producers' picks. Before we do that, we do want to say thank you. Podcast 13, man. 13 episodes in, right?
It's crazy.
It's pretty awesome. Next week, well, I just want to get this out of the way in case I forget. Next week, we will have an episode, and then after that, it will probably be every other week. So we'll let you know next week, but we'll probably be doing that for the summer just because of work and there's not much hockey going on. We have some actually already pre-recorded, so that gives us another break as well, a big break. But that's probably what the goal is going to be. But definitely thanks for watching or listening. Check out the Instagram, and we'll try. Oh gosh, got something in my throat, and we'll keep going there. But really appreciate it, eh?
Of course,
been fun.
It's been a great time.
Not the greatest time for Hockey Canada, given we lost the Women's World Championship and the men's, but it's been really fun breaking it down for sure, right?
Oh, it's been awesome. Yeah, it's been great. Really to dive deep into the deeper things of these teams. It's been cool to see.
Yeah, it's been fun doing. It was fun doing the World Championship as well, right? So or not? Sorry, the Four Nations as well. We got the championship game or whatever. So
yep.
But we're gonna move on to producers' picks. So we'll see you on over there.
Yes, sir. It's that time of the week again. The time for producers' picks. Another week, some more picks. Raina, as always, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
All right, let's kick it off. Let's get this list going. What are we doing this week?
Okay. Last week we ranked the PWHL color schemes, each team's color schemes. So this week we're ranking Canadian NHL teams' color schemes.
Alrighty.
Okay.
So there's seven.
Yeah.
1 to 7 or 7 to 1. We'll go 7 to 1.
Yep.
Okay. So,
Yep. Immediately, what I think, just off the top of my head, I gotta say it. The NHL teams feel like a lot more basic and boring. Am I not wrong? Than the PW teams?
I agree.
Yeah. They're very innovative. The PWHL, they're very different. I like that. I like bright colors. They're newer. I like bright things, and the PW does it well.
I would say that 5 out of the 6 current PWHL team color schemes are better than all of these.
Wow.
There's one that's
So
like the
which
same.
one?
There's one, the charge is like the same.
Oh,
as
yeah.
the
I can
Flames.
agree with that.
So,
All right.
yeah.
Well, let's hear number 7.
Number 7 is the Winnipeg Jets. They have 2 reds, 2 grays, boring, and 2 blues and white.
Yeah.
Just like very muted-ish.
Yeah.
For the most part, boring.
For sure.
There's nothing that really pops on this jersey. Or there's a color scheme, pardon me. It's pretty basic.
Yeah. I think that is 7.
Mm-hmm.
I can agree with the 7. I like 7. Although they make beautiful jerseys, but like they use the color scheme well.
Yes.
But
I'm literally just looking at the blocks of colors beside each other.
Yep.
Just the colors.
It gives me military vibes.
Wow. Military. Okay, fair enough.
There you go.
Okay, number 6. We probably have different opinions on this, but for me, number 6 is the Montreal Canadiens because their colors are blue, white, and red, which are basically the same, just different tones as Winnipeg, but they are the American colors and they are a Canadian NHL team. So that's my only reasoning for it.
It's true.
It's a very interesting.
I like the colors
to
though, but I
judge,
just
but yeah.
can't not see it. And then I look at the colors one beside another, and it's the French flag. So.
But French is a big thing about the Montreal Canadiens.
Well,
so that
yes,
is that's a huge thing.
Yeah, but it's not. It's not France. Like.
Okay.
It's Canadian French.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I agree. Listen. I think history-wise, this is the most historic color scheme.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I agree with you. It's just literally just red, blue, and white.
So basically, I see the direction here. So do you like the dark blue that the Oilers, Leafs, and Canucks have? Is that like a factor on why it's higher, or is it more just because it's American?
Hmm?
Do you know what I mean?
Why all the other ones are
Like
higher?
why like obviously Leafs, Canucks, Oilers, they're all somewhat similar. I know that
Sure.
it's just based on the squares or whatever, but they all have blue and white.
Okay.
So blue and white and a secondary
Blue
color.
and white look really good together.
Yeah, but I'm saying blue, white, and red. You would rather have blue and white over blue, white, and red.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Good
that what
point.
you're saying?
You
Yeah.
think the
That's what
red's
I'm
out
asking.
of place?
No,
Like,
I
is it-
think
do you
that
think
the
it's a
red
blue?
makes it America.
Mm.
I don't think that the red is out of place. I think the red looks great.
Okay.
It's just, I don't know. Anyways.
Okay.
Okay. I'm
Just
with
like how the Jets are military.
That's military, Canadians,
Fair.
America. Canadians,
Fair.
America. Isn't that funny? The Canadians are America. There you go.
Here's
Yeah.
another question then. So if they changed the blue and swapped it out for a different color of blue, like a light blue, would that change the opinion because it's not
Yeah.
as American?
Yes. Also, going back to Jake's point about the Canadians are America, I didn't even think about that.
Isn't that funny? I know, right?
Yeah,
I just thought about that too.
Because I
That's
was
funny.
saying that they're a Canadian NHL team, but their colors are American. But they're literally called the Canadians, and they're
Yeah.
the American colors. So, like,
Right. There you
look it
go.
up.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay.
Get with the times.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay, were you referencing the reverse retro? The
Well,
light blue versus
just-
the reverse retro.
Kind of.
I like the
yeah.
light blue.
But I'm just trying to see like how much of how much the America thing really brings it down.
I think if you add the light blue to the three colors
it
that already
takes-
exist,
then
it's
it's not
it's better
American.
already.
it's not American if you have another color.
It would go up for me already if we were including the light blue.
Okay.
Okay.
I understand.
Okay, so I made this list twice, and what was my number 1 is now my number 5. So
Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
I did it all
That's
out.
a drop. That's a
I
big
did it all
drop.
out,
Yeah.
and then I did it all out just based in my head, and then I put all my colors up, and then I moved them around, and my number 1 went to number 5.
Okay, question. Is it because your 1 and 5 are so close together, or because you realize one sucks is now 5?
Yeah, there you go. That's a good question.
No, I mean,
You
I
just-
think a
did
lot
your
of them
brain-
are some of them are kind of really similar.
Did your brain just like
And
not like it?
I like it.
Oh, so they're
I do
all
li-
close.
I still like
so they
it.
are kind of close.
Like
Yeah.
1 to 5. Okay.
Okay, yeah. So hold
I
on,
still
hold on,
like
hold on.
it.
So now
I still
can
like
we
it.
can we do one more other thing? So we have like how far of a gap is 5 and 6? Like, is
Well,
it
I
big?
mean, if it wasn't based off of America, they're all close. Like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
The only one that really is low for me is the Jets.
Okay.
I don't
Gotcha.
think that
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
I don't.
I'm just
I
trying
don't
to
think
get a
that
gauge, you
There
know?
are really any that are that bad,
Trying to get a gauge.
to be
Okay.
honest.
Okay. Let's hear number 5.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, my number 5, and now I'm rethinking it, but we'll just go with it. My number 5 is Vancouver Canucks.
Okay.
Okay, I searched
Okay,
it.
okay.
It's white, gray, navy, blue, and green, and I really like the blue and the green.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot of colors going on. Like 5 is a lot, kind of like Winnipeg.
This is 5.
What? I like it.
I like it too. It just
I think this is
I like
5.
the green. I'm a big green blue guy.
Do you
so,
think
like,
do you think the light green goes with the blue?
it's not light green.
it's a pretty dark.
Is
it's
it
like
dark?
not.
It's
I-
not
although-
light.
I agree with you, Caleb. I do wish the blue was a little bit lighter.
oh, my
just a
brightness.
tink lighter. I think
Okay,
it's
it is it's somewhat. It's not
I
as
wish-
light as it.
if the blue was a little bit lighter, I think that would be better. Because
Well,
they have
because-
the they have the very
which,
dark
which
blue,
The logo
the-
blue or the jersey blue?
the logo blue.
And you're saying
no.
you want it to be lighter?
What do you mean? Aren't the
It's-
blues the same?
There's
No.
two
There's
blues.
two blues.
There's the one on the logo and
Oh,
the one
There's a
on the
navy-
jersey.
Yes, it's the one in the jersey.
But there's 2 blues in the logo too.
There's an
There's a
outline.
dark blue for the actual
Yeah, there's a little bit
connect-
in
and
there.
then though in the C,
I can see it,
no,
yeah.
it's half and half. It's
What?
half and half. Maybe
Like there's
it might be 2. 2/3, 1/3.
There is blue. There is 2 blues in the logo. Yes.
Yes.
Let me pull up. Yeah.
Half
yeah,
and half.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The top part of the C, like 1/3 of the C is a different blue than the other.
The darker
But
blue's
hold
on
on.
the top.
But there's some. I think their home and away logos are different.
There's one
the
that's
bottom
white.
is white and
Yeah.
But this one we're including the. Okay, so there's
I
3
think the
blues.
logo looks better with the 2 blues.
Not the white at the bottom.
No.
Okay.
Anyways,
Okay,
that's
yeah.
not what we're talking about.
So 5. Yeah, I agree. I personally don't like the green.
I like the green. I don't like
I
that.
love the green.
I don't like the gray. It's the same thing with Winnipeg. Like, why do we need gray? I don't think we
like-
do.
Well,
Like
it's just
it
a
kind of
logo.
replaces white, no? Like
No, because there's white too.
yeah, I know, but
Every
instead of
logo
using
has
they're
white,
using
or
gray.
every color scheme has white. So
I don't know. I just don't like the gray. Take the gray out, and might be higher.
Yep.
okay.
No,
So
I don't
4.
know.
No, I agree. I think
You guys are gonna hate my ranking for the rest of this.
I think I have a number 1, and I think you guys are gonna think that I would never have this as 1. But I wonder if you have it as 1 as well. Just
I don't think I do.
Okay.
I think you're gonna hate my number 1.
okay. Let's
like,
hear.
a lot.
Let's hear 4.
Number 4 is the Edmonton Oilers with the orange, white, blue. And I actually really like the orange and blue are complementary colors. And so they look really good together. But I think that the blue is a little...
they?
What? Yes, they are.
I never took art past.
Yeah, neither did I. I never did art.
I learned a little bit about it.
I feel
but
like
I
you should have
forgot.
learned it every grade in elementary school.
I
But
didn't have art until grade 7.
they're across from each other
more
in
you
the
know.
color wheel. So they look good
I
together.
don't know the color wheel. That's the only thing.
Neither do I.
That's sad. But
The more you
doesn't
know.
matter. But
you know.
like, I think that the blue should be less navy-ish, like just a slightly.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
they are. They are.
What?
You have blue
What?
down here and the orange up here.
Well, I'm not lying.
Thanks,
I know.
Caleb.
Well, I just thought I
Thanks
had
for
it here.
confirming, Caleb.
Shout out hockey cards. Shout out hockey cards. Got your color wheel.
I like the orange. I really like the
I
bright
do.
orange.
I it's higher than green. I like the orange with the
No,
blue.
I
more than
think
the
I
green.
think I'd have Vancouver higher than this. Me personally, I'm a big green guy. I like green, so I also like the green and the blue. Like obviously those are 2 colors very similar and they go together really well. Although I'm not saying the blue and the orange don't go together too very well, but I just think the blue and the green look better personally. Me, that's just me. But like,
Okay.
I don't mind. I like the Oilers colors too.
I think so far we're on the same
Really?
page. Other than the Habs is interesting,
Okay.
but like
Well-
I have Oilers over Vancouver, and I definitely have Winnipeg last. So
Okay.
we'll see what
Okay.
3 is.
Okay. Okay, my next 2, 3 and 2, this kind of gives it away, but they're basically the same. So I have,
Oh.
I don't really know what order, the order doesn't really matter. It's Sens and Flames, and they both have red, white, black, and then Sens have gold, and Flames have yellow. They're basically the same.
Gold's better than yellow, no?
I
Do-
think gold's better
Do the Flames
than
have
yellow
black?
when it's not like that.
What jersey? Like when
Yeah,
is
they
this
do.
from? Like, is this just a home jersey? Like home logo
No, this
jersey?
is their color scheme.
Yeah, they don't
logo
have,
has-
They don't have black.
Yes, their alternate jersey is mine.
Oh, so this is including
This
like,
one-
everything.
This one logo that I see has a black outline.
From
This
where?
is just,
What year?
Oh.
I don't know.
Because all I can think of is the home and away, which is
Do you have
literally
black?
just
Yeah.
which is just white, yellow, and red.
Yeah. That's what I found too. The
Okay.
Sens have black.
No,
Yeah.
the Sens. Oh, I think the Sens are number 1.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I hate
Very
the.
I never
crazy.
thought Never thought I heard that. Hear that out of your mouth.
I hate the jersey. I hate the
I'm
logo.
flipping that.
I hate the jersey and the
flipping that.
logo.
Okay,
I
well.
hate the jersey and the logo, but the colors.
Are beautiful.
Oh man, red, gold, black,
Yeah.
a little bit of
This guy
white.
gets it. This guy gets it.
They got great colors, but they cannot figure it out. It's
Yes,
unfortunate.
Bro, the
they
logo is so
can.
chill. The logo is so chill.
No.
Yes, bro. The 2D logo is amazing.
Okay. So let's break these two. Let's break this down before we go to the Leafs because they're first. So we
Wait,
have,
I didn't put that together. The Leafs are number 1. Okay, we'll get
Yeah,
that.
okay. So which
blue
one?
and
Which?
white.
Yeah, I know.
white.
We'll get there.
Okay.
Which one is 3 and which one is 2?
I would say that Calgary is 3 and Ottawa is 2.
Is that including the black?
Yeah. Uh-oh.
What
My phone's
red
at
do you have?
10%.
What kind
They
of red?
both look the exact same red, to be honest.
I agree.
They both when I flip back and forth between the two of them, the red stays
Is it
the
a
exact same.
light red?
No, it's like a bright, nice red. It's not light red. It's like red.
It's not dark.
It's not maroon.
Okay.
Well, it's not.
Like the Flames is not the same color as the Sets.
Yeah, but when my color scheme's up, it looks like it is.
When's your color scheme
I feel
from?
like I have the same. I think I know what Raina's talking about. I got the same thing, kind of.
I could see that the flame. I guess on the jersey, it looks like the Flames is a little lighter than the Sens.
Yeah.
But I like the Sens.
I was just
Sens
making
red
sure
is-
because the Flames in 2019 or
Sens
2020
red is
they
better
switched,
than
right? So I
the
was,
Sens red is better than the Flames red.
okay, and I probably.
It's just
But the Flames red and yellow do go really well together. The two brightnesses.
Sure.
But I do think the Sens red, black, gold, a little bit of white.
Mm-hmm.
Top tier.
How are you?
Yeah. So any thoughts on those two before we break down the obvious?
No, we're going to the obvious right now.
Okay.
I want a great explanation why
Yeah,
colors
okay.
of blue and white. Blue and white. There was the Canucks, the Jets have a blue and they have a white. There's like so many teams that could do what the Leafs do.
Well, but oh my god, the simplicity of it just like works. White, blue. That's all they need. They don't need anything else. It looks good.
Jake, you go first.
I get what you're saying.
so
and actually,
You
did you just tell me to go first and cut me off?
Sorry, guys.
It's okay. It's okay.
I just had a thought and then.
Okay,
no,
you go. Spit your thought. No, spit your thought.
My brain, while doing this exercise, goes to what other things do we see this color scheme on? Right? Is that kind of
The
what you
Finnish
do?
flag.
Yeah, like stuff like that. I don't think this white and darkish blue.
But it's
like
a
you don't
nice
see it a lot,
blue.
and it's not.
It's a nice blue. It's a nice blue.
Okay. So now we're saying colors are nice or what? What is a bad blue?
The Winnipeg blue.
Okay, fair.
Good point.
Okay. So
And the Oilers blue. Oilers blue is too dark for them.
it's like the same.
Hot take, maybe. Yeah, but for the
It's like-
orange and the white, that blue is too dark for those two colors. This blue's great. Okay.
You know what? I'm not a big hater on it.
I know, me neither.
I don't know if I'd say number one. I like the blue and white is iconic.
Like,
but you
I
could say
think
this,
the
obviously you could say the
Sens-
same thing for Montreal. But
I think the Sens really knocked it out of the park. The Flames could have a chance at being higher than the Leafs. I do agree. The white and the blue, they're pretty good. Like, like if you were to get an autograph, you'd always sign in a blue Sharpie, right?
I also think
Blue on
that
white. You know what I mean?
I also
Like,
think that when you
yeah.
add
You go.
a black or a gray to something, it kind of makes it all more dull. And so the white and the blue is just like, I don't
Like-
know. They didn't have that happen.
Like I think this is definitely like these two colors do go well together, I think.
Well,
I
yeah,
just-
it's white.
Yeah. But like you see, like here, I got an example. Like this is just like clean. Like just see how the marker on the white,
Exactly.
it's just clean.
Just looks good.
So I mean, I don't know.
It looks good.
I just think the Sens are better.
Sure.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. So Jake, what do you have as one then? If you disagree with
One?
the Leafs.
Oh,
Like I've said,
I don't
Sens.
disagree with the Leafs.
Like you think they're one?
No, I think the Leafs are like 3.
Okay, so what's one? That's what I'm asking.
I don't know. See, this is hard to see. Like, say, I'd have to really like. I like Vancouver. I'm a big one on Vancouver. I mean, Raina, you even said Vancouver went from 1 to 5.
I
so,
think
like,
that, yeah, I also think that if Vancouver was just white, green, blue, it would be way higher.
Do you think they added too much color?
Well, no, it's just the gray and the navy. I think if you took those two out, it would be better.
Well, can you just
Maybe
ignore
even
them
if
though?
you
Can you just
took the
ignore?
gray. What?
What if you just
no,
ignore them?
that's part of the color scheme. What do you mean ignore them?
Well, you get more detailed with like a gray. Like, they have the gray because they use it on the fine details.
Yeah, but sometimes but that's not what we're talking about.
Okay.
What's your one? Is
My
it Vancouver?
one. No, I might have to agree with you with the Sens. I agree. I really like the gold, and I don't think a lot of teams do the gold except for the Golden Knights. So, it's a unique color. I don't know. Them or Vancouver. I'll put the Sens and Vancouver up there for me. I like them both. I like Calgary too. I like a lot of these color schemes. But I'd say Sens and Vancouver up there for me.
Okay. There you go.
Probably Vancouver. I'll go Vancouver. Screw it. I'll put the Canucks at 1. I like green. I like the green.
Sure. And now you like gray too. Happy for
I
you.
guess so. I love gray, Raina. I love
Okay.
gray, actually. It's my favorite color.
Okay.
That's fine.
Put that up, post it.
Yep. I
My
love
room
gray.
is going to be gray. I'm going to paint my room gray.
I love gray. Jacob Ewing 2025.
Yep, call me. Gray's a great
Congrats.
color.
Sure.
Well, any final thoughts on this before I wrap her up?
No.
I like this
don't-
one.
I think this is a great one.
I think this one, we had some matches, we had some discrepancies,
This is
but
actually
I think this
probably
one was like, I don't know.
one of the more agreeable ones we've
Yeah.
ever had. Probably the most agreeable one we've ever had.
And like there's enough, like some of them are similar, so it makes it interesting when we argue, right? Makes it fun.
Yep.
Oh, I have a
like this.
question.
Yep.
Casey, you know how I had Sens and Calgary beside each other? Do you guys have any teams separating them, or would you be the same? You'd have one and then the other? Because they're very similar.
I'd probably actually have some in between.
Okay.
And I think the Sens are higher than the Flames. I might very close, but I might throw something like I don't even know. I don't know. But I think I just really like the gold compared to the yellow. That's the main difference is the gold
Yeah.
and the yellow. And although I do think the yellow works really well for the Flames, if we're just going straight off color scheme, a yellow and a red, I don't know. I don't know.
It's auto
like-
charge.
Yeah, and they were last. So
Yeah.
I don't know. They're close, but I'd have something in between at least. Maybe
Okay.
Montreal.
All right. Well, another day, another episode. Thanks everyone for listening once again. Podcast 13, like we were saying earlier. Podcast 14 out next week. Not sure exactly. We got, of course, the para ice hockey. That'll be done by then, so we'll talk some about that.
Yep.
And we'll just go from there.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be another fun episode. So stay tuned. Peace out. Go Stars, go.
No!
Okay, that's terrible.